How you doing, people? Hope you are doing fantastically well. Okay, what's he got today? A short while ago I did a session 100 5-pump Navy SEALs, also known as double Navy SEALs, and followed it up with a little bit of a leg session afterwards as well. Quite enjoyed that session, so I thought I'd give it another go with a slight twist. I like to do the heels to backside burpees, as I call them, where you've got a jump in the burpee where you kick your heels to your backside, and I find they do give you a bit more dynamic power, obviously a lot harder. So I thought in my own little masochistic mind, why don't I introduce those to the double Navy SEALs? What a great idea. Never tried it before, don't know how hard it's going to be, but let's get into it. Okay, so just to remind, the actual workout here is 100 double Navy SEALs, or 5-pump Navy SEALs, with a heels to backside jump. So I started out at a rate of 4 a minute, and I did that for 10 minutes. And I did notice that the cardio was higher than normal, which makes sense because whenever you introduce legs more, because they are bigger muscles, they are going to require more oxygen, which does mean that the output and calorie burn is greater if you're thinking in terms of weight loss. I then went to 3 per minute. I guess I could have tried to maintain 4 for longer, but if you're doing it for the first time and filming as well, I wasn't sure if I was going to start to lose form, and I wanted the jumps to be good quality. Now, I know looking at these it would be easy to think that these jumps look like they'd be bad on the knees or quite impactful, but actually I've done these for decades and never once had an issue. I think as long as you land more on your toes, it's not a flat-footed landing, then there are no repercussions at all. Plus this is on grass, which is great. You don't have to do this, of course. A usual burpee type jump would increase the output as well, but I'm quite a big advocate of jumps and power exercises generally. I used to do a session of plyometric type jumps after every run I did, and I'll probably do a video on this as it was one of my sort of secret weapons in getting that extra bit of fitness and leg strength. I think it really boosted at the time my VO2 max, because I always felt fit in the days after that session, and that applied to running fitness as well as squash, which was the sport I was playing at the time. In terms of weight loss, because the output is greater, the calorie burn's also greater, and I always feel the epoch effect is somehow greater as well. That epoch effect being the continued sort of afterburn of calories once the training has finished due to a higher metabolic rate. So I think if you're someone who does train but feels like they want to up the ante, up their game to get a bit fitter, lose those extra few pounds, introducing either these or squat jumps, star jumps or lunge jumps really does just up your game. Of those, I'd say lunge jumps are the most demanding muscularly. That is because that is if you make sure that the trailing knee just about touches the floor, because the jump power is generated just from one leg at a time. If you try lunge jumps for 1 minute, you'll start to seize up more quickly on those than you would on the other types of jumps, where the power is being generated from both legs. I must admit though, halfway through these I was thinking of the words of a friend of mine on YouTube, Mr. Eric McCarthy. Shout out to Eric. Eric does burpees every day and has a unique channel where he shows his daily burpees, but also has philosophical chats and streams, and we were discussing the subject of suffering the other day, and one of the contexts was suffering in training, and if people perceive it as suffering. Eric's suggestion was partly yes and partly still getting the joy of movement. So halfway through this I was just thinking, just think of the joy of movement. This is a joy of movement. The problem was with that years ago in the UK there was a book brought out which was a little bit controversial at the time, called The Joy of Sex. And suddenly that popped into my mind, along with all sorts of other related distracting thoughts. So I suddenly had to refocus on what I was doing. But it did distract me for a minute or two, because suddenly I was a few more sets further along than I thought I was. Anyway, this is a great combination of exercises to try. Definitely must try it, even if you just do a few or mix them into an already established session you have. Oh, as well, right at the end on the last rep, I thought, right, let's go for some height on this last rep. Let's see how high this baby can go, this 57-year-old baby. So see if you notice a difference in height there. Anyway, keep training hard. See you in the next video.
Right through the night. Right through the night.
Okay, that was interesting. It was definitely more cardio, and of course that makes the push-ups that bit harder because there's less oxygen going around your system. Definitely a great one though. You could do, let's say, 10 sets of that if you were short of time, and you would get everything. You know, there's a much bigger legs component in that, but you get the upper body as well. But another great variation to have in your back pocket. Definitely worth a try. Okay, see you in the next one.